Hi, Danny Lee. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Rise. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking.
You are welcome.
How are you?
Peachy keen and super pumped to be chatting with you today. Your album, your brand new album, Rajan, is debuting on our top 30 chart this week. You know, as I was kind of digging into your history and your music,
Mhm.
what inspired this theme of this album?
I'd say, in a way, the theme of the record is a thank you to my mother.
Hmm.
So she had a lot to do with it, I reckon. But yeah, this is the sixth record, so it's the sixth chapter. It's I kind of like to look at things in book form sometimes. The records before it were done, by me in different ways, but I feel like this one was a little bit maybe the most hands-on,
Mm.
which was really fun and natural and sort of, yeah, a lot of different influences. Probably whatever I had for breakfast that morning was a big influence.
What were some of your inspirations for the album besides your mom? You know, where did you find your melodies and your lyrical ideas from?
Hmm. Well, I think it's sort of it's asking a few questions for me because like it's a measure of songwriting. It's also like how do you communicate with
Mm-hmm.
your art? There's just like the big elephant in the room, which is rhythm. Rhythm and groove is kind of the basis for everything that I like to do. There's different ways of saying things, and there's different ways of painting, and there's different ways of expressing, whatever if you feel like expressing. So for me, it's taken the form of music for the most part, but it's a whole thing, like influences can stem from, if you go through my record collection, you might be able to sort of see some things like just love of soul music, love of, Anatolian psych rock, whatever it is that sort of gets me there, I guess. But really what I care about is music that has a nerve, you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
willing to say something or to push some type of feeling and follow that feeling. And if I don't know, influences, it's not might not be the answer exactly wanted, but I love me some Isaac Hayes and I love some Willie Nelson and I love, Everly Brothers and I named the band after Sam Cooke records. So it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
built into the foundation of what I think it is I'm trying to say. I love the drums. I love music, instruments,
You are
but it's one
easily
form.
influenced, perhaps, in the best way. In the
Very,
best way,
very
yeah.
easily influenced. Yeah, I think it's fun. I think that, like if you're able to write and find love in working on something that can be ever changing, then
Mm-hmm.
influencers are as relevant as what you had for eggs, what kind of eggs you had that morning, Like
Mm-hmm.
I think we're here as artists to kind of be sponges and to be wrung out and then filled up again and then
Mm.
thrown in, get caught on the dirt and then cleaned off maybe, or kept
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
falls in your dye bucket, you get stained pink, you never know.
Yeah.
We're just sort of kind of, you know, trying to elevate something.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. I really do. It sounds like you have a very vivid and sort of percolating creative life. So I'm gathering that you probably do all kinds of creative things. Like, do you paint?
Hmm.
Do you?
I don't paint really.
Okay.
I I really would like to paint. Is I think painting's cool. I draw. I like to use my hands with things, kind of building ideas from scratch. But mainly, I've been playing a lot of piano.
Mm.
I've found this piano. I bought it off the back of a truck the other day, and it's in my living quarters, and I can't get my hands off it. So it takes different forms, and I'm so
Hmm.
lucky to be able to have part of my job be to make groovy album art and like poster things that I care about, things that I
Yeah.
feel like
Hmm.
add like a dimension to something or just sort of drive a message or a point home or whatever it is, it's such a it's the greatest job in the world to be a musician, I feel like. So
Yeah, it's
getting
pretty
to
spectacular.
work on all those other things around in the hopes of sort of making cool shit. You know, what can I say?
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. When you sit down to write a song, are you finding like do you just get behind the drums and find a beat first, or are you writing with guitar or piano or all of the above?
Yes and yes and yes. And
Okay.
there's not usually a moment for myself personally where I'm like sitting down and like, okay, I'm writing a song now. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like
Mm-hmm.
that's not really something that enters my mind. So like when it comes down to writing and composing and remembering and repetition and things, it's sort of just built into my world, I guess, like kind of like
Mm-hmm.
my life. I mean, I wrote some of this record while I was driving a truck, over the pandemic. So like I had to get another job, and that job meant I had a lot of labor and like kind of I could listen to my own music and thoughts a lot during the day. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you could argue that some of that stuff was written, delivering someone's like fruit,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that there's quite a linear sort of breakdown of where does this melody come from or where does that line or these words come from. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
free association mixed with a history that I have kind of playing a lot. So, I just finished a tour playing in two bands. I got another one in a month. I'm kind of built for that, because I
Yeah.
started at
Yeah.
age two when I need to put my hands down and learn the songs, then I can kind
Mm.
of like get to a place where I'm feeling comfortable with the instrument and it's now just speaking for me.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So, you can have a drum kit and have things that are available to you because they've become tools to you.
Yeah.
They've become like your limbs in a sense,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
appendages.
Appendages, yes.
What's it?
I would love to play a track from your album. Can you maybe choose one and tell our listeners a little bit about it?
Ooh, okay, I have to pick. Or I get to, I should say.
Yeah.
Let's do hockey. Pretty self-explanatory once you hear the music, I should say.
Amazing. Okay. Well, from the album Rajan by Night Beats, this has been Danny Lee Blackwell, and we're going to hear Hot Key. I'm ready. Y'all ready?